Hello, everyone. Hey, can y'all hear me in the back without a microphone? Usually pretty loud, so I figured it would work out. Well, hey, I'd like to thank everyone for coming today. You're here because the board has graciously allowed us to add the generosity generation to their professional development. So a lot of you, just curious, quick show of hands, who signed up through the board, the Atlanta board? And everybody else was invited by somebody probably that's involved with the generosity generation? Have hands on if you were invited otherwise. Perfect. Looks like about half and half. Well, those of you that know a lot about it, the generosity generation is based on Michael Mayer's book, The 7 Levels of Communication. And we basically put together a monthly seminar and a board to just try to implement some strategies from that. The first ones we did one where Michael Mayer came in last month and talked about mindset, and that's what we're going to continue today. Jeromy Trask is going to actually lead this event for us. If you guys don't know Jeromy, he's actually part of the Atlanta board and is on the professional development committee. He's also a former broker. And what Jeromy has shared with us is he went from being a broker to being an agent. Was it last year or the year before?
Middle of 2012 when I did it.
Middle of 2012, and has really just been sharing how his mindset has made him get off the ground and really build his business very quickly. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Jeromy and have him get us started.
Good morning. How are you? Good morning. This is so cool. Somebody came up to me earlier and they said, "Whoa, can you hear me?" This might get a little scary. Can we turn this down? Because I have a tendency to get a little loud now and then. And if I do that, it's going to be really loud out there. Just a hair would be great. So somebody came up to me and said, "Wow, you have a big following." I said, "No, I don't think these people know what they're in for. They have no idea who I am." Thank you very much for coming out. My name is Jeromy Trask, and the reason I am here is because I believe in mindset as the predecessor to pretty much everything that we do. Pretty much everything that we do. It starts with our mindset. And I've gone through 18 years of being a real estate agent, 7 years of being a broker, and books of taking notes on classes and all of that stuff. And I've drilled it down into 90 minutes of stuff that I'm going to share with you today. And a lot of it comes from Michael Mayer's book, The 7 Levels of Communication. And the reason is, a lot of what he put into that book comes from a lot of other books that are great, like The Go-Giver and some of the other books that we're going to talk a little bit about today. So what I'm going to share with you today isn't necessarily stuff that I'm making up. It's stuff that somebody else has introduced to me. And I'm hoping that either you've already been introduced to it and this will sort of reignite some of that for you, or this will be the very first time you've heard it and you'll love it and you'll go and you'll take some action because of it. So Generosity Generation 2014, that's why we're here as part of the Professional Development Series. We're going to talk about mindset. So thank you for coming. Make sure this doesn't roll off. Work, maybe it won't. Second. All right, so let's talk about mindset. What is it? What is mindset? This is where you guys get called. I'm like very interactive, so you're going to have to say stuff. There may be something where you stand up. You're going to feel uncomfortable at some point today. I promise you. Every single person in this room will feel uncomfortable at some point today. What is mindset? Attitude. What do you think about things?
The way you think about things. What you're thinking about most of the time. I'm going to move over to this side of the room because I want to hear something. What's that?
Belief.
Your beliefs? Who said that? Mindset. What is it? Gosh, I feel small.
It's how you process.
How you process, your thought process.
How you approach things.
How you approach things.
Your
sit down on one of these chairs. What's going through my mind, right? How you approach things. It is, clicker not going to work, which is going to make this sort of fun. Your beliefs and your programming, right? Your mindset is really, it's what's going on up here, right? That's why they call it mindset. It's your beliefs. It's what's behind the decisions that you make. It's your programming. So if you think of mindset, I want you to think of it as your operating system, right? It's like iOS or Windows, wherever they are. 8, I think. I saw something, I was looking for the logo, and I think there's a Windows 9 out there. I don't know if it's a spoof or if it's coming or if it's really here. However, it's an operating system. That's what your mindset is. So, what do you know about computers? What do you know about this machine? How well does it work without an operating system? It doesn't. It doesn't do anything without an operating system, right? How well do you get things done? What are your results without understanding or having an operating system? Without mindset, without beliefs, that is your operating system. You don't have results, right? Results come from your operating system. Now, let me ask you a question. Who in here knows everything about this computer? Could make it do anything? Somebody's back here kind of smiling. That's me. He's got one up. It's almost the same computer, too. I can see it. So he probably does. Are you good at computers? Raise your hand if you're good at computers. I know. What makes you good? You can get in and manipulate the operating system. You can make it do the things that you want to do so that you can have the result from it that you want. You can get the things out of the computer that you want to have come out of it. That's what makes it good. So, if your mindset is your operating system, don't you think you need to know how it works? Don't you think the more you know about your mindset, your beliefs, your programming, the better results that you'll have? That if you want to push a button and make something happen, you know how to do it? Wouldn't that be good? Doesn't that make sense? Are you going through life knowing that? Or is the stuff just happening? Is the computer just doing whatever it does because that's what it does and you don't really know what's going on with it? Is it your child running your computer for you? Whoa, there you go. Huh? How many of you just thought about, your child or someone in your life that may be running your operating system? Right? It's your operating system. It's your mindset. You control it. So, what do you want to get out of today's class? Why are you here? Go ahead. To operate the operating system? Operate on the operating system? We're not going to do that here. There will be no brain surgery. That would be really uncomfortable. Why are you here? Somebody else?
Keep going.
To keep what going?
Keep the mindset going. Keep positiveness. Be around people that have lots of mindsets.
That's a pretty good deal. What do you think? How do you feel about this room? Have you been to other classes, other meetings, other things recently? What do you think about the energy? It's pretty good. There's a little sense of, you guys are kind of on edge right now, which is really pretty cool. That's what's going on. You're eager. You've got, what do you want? Why are you here? What are you waiting for? What is it that you want out of today?
New ideas?
Some new ideas?
We're trying to figure out if you have a magic pill to make us rich, what other things. So it doesn't look like we're shining with love and Christ in our hearts and the things that we need.
Some of that's really cool. Other part of that makes me very scared. I gotta be honest. Magic pill stuff, that's where I get a little hesitant to speak. There is no magic pill. You have the magic pill. You are the magic pill. It's right here in the back.
Yeah, Michael said last time that success is a 1 degree change.
Yeah.
And I'm here to get that 1 degree.
At 1 degree change, right? How many people are here because you realize that my mindset is perfect. I get everything I want. I have all the results in my life that I'm looking for. And I got nothing better to do Wednesday morning. I'll go listen to Jeromy because I like him. He's fun. I like to be around him. Raise your hand if that's why you're here. So I guess I'm the only one. You're here because you want to make a change, right? You're looking for a little something, 1 degree. I'm looking for the magic pill or all the good things she said after that. I'm looking for an opportunity to be around other people that are in a similar mindset as mine. I'm looking for a change. I'm looking for a change. So what do we know about change? Operating systems? It's a little uncomfortable. It's something that you control. You do it. It's an action. Change is an action, right? Change is an action. So if you want a different mindset, you got to take some action. I got to tell you, it's not about just sitting there and thinking differently. Uh-oh. The magic pill is not thinking differently, just so you know. It's about taking some action. So the first step, here we go. We're going to do something. We're going to get jiggy with it. No, we're not. Change your mindset about referrals. How many people are here that are in a, thank you, hello, she's getting a referral right now, just so you know. That's how this stuff works. You just show up at class and the phone starts to ring. You can leave your phones on, by the way. If you have your phone in your pocket, pull it out, because I want you to do something. We're gonna actually do something right now. If you have a computer and you're on your computer, make sure that you're logged in to a social media or a Facebook or something along those lines, because today I want you to change your mindset about referrals. It's gonna happen. And I want to invite Carrie Walters to come up because she has done this tremendously well. She has been coached by Michael Mayers, and she has changed her mindset about referrals. So I want her to sort of share what she's done, and then we're going to do it here together. So, Carrie?
Yes.
Carrie Walters, please come on up. She is an agent. How long have you been in the business, Carrie?
8 years.
8 years. She's got a team. She does very well in the sort of Roswell area, but a lot of other areas too. So please welcome Carrie Walters.
Hey everybody. How many people here do business by referral? That's why you're here, right? Name the class, right? How many people set a purposeful referral goal? Very few hands go up. So if you're doing business by referral, and that's the main reason you're doing business, why isn't the number of referrals you give and receive part of your goals? So we're going to start doing this. Every year my business plan has how many referrals I'm going to give, how many referrals I'm going to receive that year. This year my goal is to give 200 referrals and to receive 100 referrals. I'll tell you from experience, I've been doing this about 5 years. I always receive half the referrals I give. Without fail, every year. You can't really control how many referrals you receive. You can teach your sphere of influence how to give you referrals. You can talk about what a good referral for you is. But the actual flow of referrals in is not something that you can directly control. But I can control how many referrals I give very easily. As a realtor, I have the opportunity to refer a lot of people every time I do a transaction. Every buyer, I refer a lender, an inspector, often a handyman, a closing attorney, the list goes on and on. My sellers get referred to a photographer, a stager, a closing attorney, other services. So right there, I've racked up quite a few referrals given just for transactions that I do. How many times does somebody pop their head in your office and say, do you have a good chimney repairman, right? If you've got somebody, give the name and number. Let me introduce you by a 3-way email, right? What a great, easy way to give a referral. So it's always on the top of my mind because it's one of my #1 goals to give referrals. So I'm always looking for that opportunity to give somebody's name and number to somebody else, to introduce somebody that I think will be influential in somebody else's life. And it doesn't have to be necessarily a direct opportunity for business. It can be what I think will be a great relationship by introducing people. Excuse me. So here's a fun activity we're going to do for the class. Right now, get out your phones and your computers. Get on social media. All right. So my goal for the year is 200 referrals out and 100 in, right? So every 7 days, my job is to give 4 referrals. It's not very hard. It's not that big a deal. So for me, posting on Facebook, Jeremy's going to do this live. I would post, and I will in a minute, as soon as I'm done talking. My goal this week, in the next 7 days, is to give out 4 referrals.
So here's what mine is. I put, my goal is to give 20 referrals and receive 10 in the next 10 days. Who do you know who needs help with anything?
I always end mine with, I'm here to help. My email signature says, I'm here to help. When I post this on Facebook, and I do this about every 6 weeks, just post this little, I'm here to help, I'm here to help, I'm here to help. You might have somebody in your network who lost a tree in the storm last week. This may prompt them to think, gosh, I need to get that tree. That's a great opportunity to give a referral if you've got a great tree guy. Or ask me and I'll refer you mine. So I want everybody to post this sentence with your goals for the next week. And then we're going to turn it back over to Jeromy, and we're going to put our phones down for about 30 minutes.
You haven't posted yet?
Everybody posted?
We're trading on the internet?
We got everybody.
I went live and I did it. That was pretty scary. And it worked. It's kind of cool with technology, the operating systems actually come together and make it happen. So there you go. There is my Facebook page with my post. Hopefully you had a second to post the same message or something similar. You don't have to do exactly what I wrote.
What's great about this is you're doing an active public affirmation, right? So you're putting that out there to the people that you know. You're also saying it to yourself. Social media to me is one of my favorite accountability tools, because there's lots of times I get on Facebook and see that face of you. Absolutely not. Step back. We can't control our first thought, right? But we can control our second thought. And Facebook to me is a great example of how that works. So once you've posted, put your phones and computers away so we can pay attention to Jeromy. And we're going to check back in a few minutes and see if anybody has any great responses and what kind of energy you get in your social media from just putting this out there in the social media world.
Cool. Did
Anything else?
Did you get it on there? Did you make the post? Did you write it down so that you can make the post later? Okay, cool. Yes, I'm gonna talk about tracking this at the end of this session, so we'll hit it then. Because guess what? If it's worth doing, it's worth tracking. Yeah, there you go. You gotta kind of keep up with it. So if you're in business, decide if I want to stand up here or not. There you go, indecision. My goal is to give 20 referrals and receive 10 in the next 10 days. Who needs help with anything? I am here to help. That's what I just posted. All right, so guess what we just did? We just followed up Bruce Lee. I like the masters, by the way. I think when you look for inspiration, when you're figuring out how to make your operating system operate at a really, really high level, just go to the masters. It's easy. This stuff's all over the internet, everywhere. It's so cool. Bruce Lee, knowing is not enough. We must apply. Willing is not enough. We must do. Are you willing to do the post, or did you just do the post? Right? Are you a master, or are you playing around in the sandbox having fun? Do it now. So there were some action items. Who was here for the last class that Michael Mayer did with us? Raise your hand, big. So half the room. Some of you had some action items when he left. Speaking of Bruce Lee and doing it. Writing some notes. Who wrote some notes after the class last month? Yeah? Tell me about that. Who'd you write them to? Anybody? Just throw it out there. Who'd you write notes to? Not the individual person. We probably don't know them. What were they in your life? I wrote some notes to clients for saying what? Cool. Thank you notes to clients. What else did you write?
Prospects, thanking them just for meeting with them.
I wrote some notes to prospects that I had an opportunity to meet with. Great. Who else did you write notes to?
Family.
I wrote notes to family? You did? You like your family? That's awesome. How many of you have written a note to a family member in the last 30 days? Yeah. How many of you think that that would have an impact on their life if you did that in the next 30 days? Pretty cool, huh? Notes to write. Calls to make. Who made some calls over the last 30 days? Proactively. Whoa, here we go. Some calls. Now, I'm not just talking about returning a call because somebody called you. Right? Who'd you call? Who did you call? I called my database. Cool. Who else did you call? I called my referral sources. What'd you say to your referral sources? Just thank you for being on my team. I don't know if I've really told you that. I can't tell you how much I appreciate your support, and I consider you part of my success. Just like the Seattle Seahawks, we're a team. And I'm from Denver, so this is pretty hard to talk about. Right? It took the team, and they were a powerful team. Beat the snot out of the Broncos. Right? It takes a team. Your referral sources, your database, your data bank, if you want to sort of think of it in that terms. Your data bank, where you make your deposits, right? You make your deposits at bank. You go get money at the bank when you need it. That's what your database is. They're your data bank. Calls to make. Events to attend. Anybody attend any cool events over the last 30 days? This one counts. Events. What events did you attend? Webinars? Those are pretty cool events. Yeah. What webinar did you attend?
I attended one about marketing, like how you, it was like a Craig Proctor webinar.
Craig Proctor. Anybody heard of Craig Proctor? Yeah, he's one of the masters. That webinar's probably got some useful information in it, didn't it? Who else attended an event? CRS has some webinars. Dee Dee, what'd you do?
Valentine's party where my database. Yes.
A Valentine's party with your database. Fantastic. Anybody else go to events like that? I did. Mardi Gras party, anybody been to one of those? Those are pretty cool. Get kind of wild. One-on-ones. You had some one-on-ones to schedule. Did you do it? What was it? Give me an example of a one-on-one meeting that you did since the last time we met. Yes?
Met with a mortgage lender to establish a referral relationship.
Awesome. Met with someone in a similar profession to establish referral opportunities for both of us. One-on-ones, who did you meet with? This was your homework. Right? This is the do part. One-on-ones. Anybody do the 4 eulogies exercise? Seriously. That one is very serious. Right? What's a eulogy? What? It's what you say at someone's funeral. Sort of in honor and memory. It sort of describes what they meant to you, what they were in your life. The 4 eulogies exercise is taking a look at your future and understanding what's going to be said about you when your day comes. when you're in a much happier place, loving everything about it, and we are here remembering you, what is going to be said? What impact did you have on other people's lives? What accomplishments did you achieve? What are people going to talk about? What are the 4 eulogies? How about this one? Blessings book. Commit to 30 days of affirmations and appreciations. Raise your hand if you did that one. Raise your hand if you do that one pretty much all the time anyway. That's pretty cool. What happens? Tell me. How do you do it?
I've committed to 30 days, and I've tried before, and for whatever reason, let my mindset stop me from doing it. So
Okay.
now, I basically have everything set up, so before I turn my computer on every morning, I do this, and I'm deep through the roof if you do a disc profile. So for me, I was like I said, I'm gonna do it in the first few times, but as fast as possible to get really like just flying through it. As I started doing it, I started to appreciate doing it and thinking and spending more time on it. And for me, it's kind of like when you're in sales, you know, if you go do all your meetings, make your calls, do your thank you cards, you start getting referrals, and they're not directly related to what you did, it's because you put it out there. I felt happier and more thankful because I've been doing that. It's not directly related, but it's related. I've been happier in what I've been doing because of it.
Affirmations and appreciations. Your blessings book. Who has the blessings book? Who keeps that and writes in it pretty regularly? What does it mean to you, JJ, to have that book? What is that book to you?
That book is actually, I have a routine, every morning after I do my meditation, I write my message. And, grateful, feelings a different type of energy within you. What you can appreciate, actually, doing something is not your life in that moment. And that's the
Yeah.
epitome of appreciation. And because that contrast in your life is going to catapult you towards what you want. But you don't know what you really want unless you have something in your life which you keep going.
So what I'm hearing JJ say is that through consistently doing this and having an appreciations book, a blessings book, and keeping up with it, that even when the crap happens, you find the appreciation in that. Why? Because you're so focused on appreciations. You understand that there is no failure. There's only learning, right? How many? And by the way, this isn't me. I'm just repeating what other people have said. You've heard it before, right? There is no failure. There's only learning. You just choose whether or not to learn from it, and that is going to be directly linked to your mindset. And if you're in the habit of appreciation, it's so much easier to understand and to see the learning opportunities in the failures. That's awesome.
Jeremy, before
Yeah.
we move on, I personally think this is a game changer now, so I've been getting more and more into it. There's a great book called The Miracle Morning. If you haven't read it, you should pick it up. It's an easy read, but it goes a little deeper into this as well. Really good to kind of pick up if you have a chance.
You mean this one?
Yeah, that.
Whoa. We didn't plan that either, did we? I got this book delivered to me in the mail yesterday. How cool is that? I changed my presentation this morning because of it. This is some cool stuff. I read this thing last night. I couldn't put it down. I was like, yeah. I don't typically pick up a book and read it like that, just in case you guys are wondering. Some of you know me well, but yeah, no, that's true. This is a good one, and it's a pretty simple read. I definitely encourage it. I think The Miracle Morning is awesome. So, yes?
I thought affirmations were a joke when I first heard about them. It's one of the things, I do
Anybody
all
else?
the other my familiar stuff except for affirmations and appreciations. Because I thought it was something kind of hokey, and I still sometimes think that way, but I committed after the last one to do it. It's really changed my attitude completely. Another good book is How to Influence Friends and Influence People. And one of the things they talk about is condemnation, criticizing, complaining are the three things that destroy relationships. What if those are the words that you're using to yourself? If you plug your ears and you start talking, there's only one voice you hear in your head. And if that's what your mindset is, it destroys your ability to appreciate. And Michael said it a different way the last time he was here, and I committed to it. It's changed my life, and more importantly, it's changed the people around me. I mean, it's strange. And so I'm still kind of wandering through the affirmation thing. And I would say if you're like me, who spent the last 2 or 3 years in various Gen events, this is the one thing you have to try it. Just see what happens. And you know, if you're a believer, and I know a lot of people who are into Michael stuff tend to be, whether no matter what your faith is, Scripture is really good for if you can't come up with affirmations, just personalize them and add first person to them, and you'll get there. It's incredible. So I just wanted to share that because I know this was like a mental block. You know, like this is just too weird. It's like a weird seminar. You're like, I ain't walking on coals like he did.
They do burn.
There we go.
Just in case anybody's wondering, they burn. JJ.
I just want to put a plug in for the best book of affirmation that exists.
Best book of affirmations that exists.
And it is a playful way, which you are not only going to like, you are going to love. It's called The Wealthy Spirit.
Wealthy Spirit.
The Wealthy Spirit by Sherry Campbell. And it has each day, it's like a small, a little story, something really small, someone said at the top, then a little story and the affirmation at the bottom. And I read it every night, it's in my Bible, it has been since 2007, I see the book there. It is just the best thing that is there. And then I go with that to bed, with that thought and that affirmation, and I try to remember it in the morning. What was it I learned last night?
Yeah.
And it reinforces it and brings it in. And it's playful and humorous and just witty and just wonderful, absolutely wonderful.
Cool. Did you get the book? You got it? Okay. Affirmations and appreciation. Those are huge. I mean, we could sit here and talk probably all day about really getting that stuff perfected. They're phenomenal. Love on people calls. Call 5 people and just call them with a sincere interest in helping them conquer their challenges or achieve their goals. Did you make any of those calls? You do it regularly.
I know 3 people that are job searching, so I constantly call them to see how they're doing mentally and how they're filling up their day and how they feel about fulfillment. A gentleman just moved to China. I called him last night to say I do with him.
Yeah.
And see how he's getting on.
That's awesome. How many people know somebody who's out of work? Right? How often do you check in on them? Do you want to check in on them? Sometimes you're like, I don't want to make that call. Right? This is the stuff we're talking about. This is the affirmations. This is the coming from contribution, the giving. That's a big part of a mindset shift. The change that you talked about with the thumbs up a minute ago, we were describing mindset. This is how it happens. Starting to do the things like that. Who else made some calls? Yeah.
I actually made, I've had people lose their spouses recently.
Okay.
So I called them, and I have the confidence that I got it in a couple of weeks or so. And then I just had a closing yesterday where I was a listing agent, and the buyer's agent, and coincidentally, I wouldn't normally do this, but this house that I sold is right next door to my house, so they became my neighbors. So, the buyer's agent also lost a family member that lived in the country. So I reached out to these people who are going to be my neighbors. I wouldn't normally call a buyer if I was a listing agent, but, and it really turned out to be a fabulous thing.
Awesome. Calling people when they're lost, just letting them know that you care, that you truly, sincerely care, and want to help them through a tough time. So, calling on people. So if you didn't do those things, if you didn't raise your hand, or if you decided, well, I'm not going to raise my hand today. Raise your hand if that's you. I decided I'm not going to raise my hand today. We have one honest person in the front of the room. There's another one back there. She said, me too. So, if you're sitting here going, I didn't really do some of that. I've been busy. I got a lot of stuff to do, right? You have a lot of stuff going on? You got a lot of stuff to do? Is it busy right now? It's getting busy. If you're not, you're gonna be, I promise. I did, what did you do? Oh, I did, thank you. Ask 5 people 3 words that describe you. She knew I missed that. She's a high C, thank you. I love honesty. It happens. All right, so what did you find out?
Everybody said Karen.
Carrie. I know you a little bit, and that would be 100% true. I want to be your friend. Is caring a good virtue?
Yes.
Ah, that's awesome.
I was just gonna suggest after we got through the torture of the 2 snowstorms and so
Yeah.
what's been so interesting and fun for me is I've called friends that I had their numbers and couldn't remember how to find them up the East Coast because we suffered, but man alive are they suffering. And that, it's been wonderful to reconnect with people and they really appreciate it. They were asking, and evidently, what's his name, Roca, the newsman, she said, oh man alive, he gave you all such a hard time in Atlanta, are you all okay? So
Yeah.
they were very, very, that's great fun for me.
So calling people in other parts of the country when something's going on or tough times are there, right? Weather-wise and stuff like that. So you called some people and you asked them, what are the 3 words that you would use to describe me? That's really, really good homework, by the way. If you want to understand what your programming is, get somebody else to tell you. And somebody that you care about, someone that knows you well. Get them to tell you what your operating system is. They'll tell you. You'll know what your mindset is after you find that out. Her mindset is caring. She cares. That's a pretty good mindset. It's a great foundation to start from. So if you didn't do some of those things, how do you do them? Stephen Covey has the 7 habits of highly effective people. Who wants to be highly effective? Raise your hand. That's awesome. Everybody in here wants to be highly effective. So who knows what this habit is? Prioritizing, this is putting first things first, right? Putting first things first. What does that mean? What's that? Seek first, understand. That's another one. That's awesome. Yes. This one is putting first things first. This is getting stuff done. Understanding that in our life, we're going to come across things that are urgent and important. Everything that we do is going to fall into one of these quadrants. We're talking about doing stuff, just in case you're wondering. Remember, mindset is about action, taking action. You want to do something different, you have to take a different action. So if you're constantly chasing the urgent and important, the crisis, the deadlines, the contracts, the showing property, the going to closings, I'm busy, I'm active, I got a lot of stuff going on. All I'm doing is I'm staying in the urgent and important category of things to do. Then there's the urgent and not important category. I call that one the illusion category. That's because it's somebody else's urgency and importance that brings you in, and you feel like you're doing something, but the reality is you're really not doing anything at all to help you at all. And most of the time, you're not helping them either. Interruptions, calls, emails. 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 Did I mention email?
Emails and texting, somebody sends you a text message, people get sidetracked.
When you get a text, what do you feel like you have to do? I got a text right away. Why? I don't know. It's starting to change a little bit though, if you haven't noticed. It's sort of kind of becoming okay to text later, which is cool. So yeah, text would fall into this category. Just going to meetings because, well, it's easier to go to a meeting and sit through a class than it is to actually do something that I'm not sure I want to do, right? So I sign up for stuff, and I go, and I learn, and I learn, and I have good intentions, right? So how about this category? Not urgent, not important. This is the category of escape. This is what you just totally check out. I'm gone. This is just trivia, it's busy work, it's just stuff you're fumbling around with and you know you're fumbling around with. This is when you know you gotta make some calls and you decide to organize the basement. That was me a few weeks ago. When it snowed outside, what should I have been doing? When we were locked in our house, what would have been the best thing we could have done? Make some calls. How many people organize their garage or their basement or clean up the house? But be honest. I'm not the only one. I know that. Right? That's the quadrant of escape. What we're trying to get to is the quadrant of the zone. I like the zone. This is not urgent but important. What is not urgent but important? What is it? What would you categorize as not urgent and important? Networking, making the phone calls, educational, going to something, I'm really getting something I'm going to be able to take and use, planning, goal setting. Would you categorize daily affirmations as not urgent but important? In other words, if you don't do it this morning, is there a direct result to you right now, 5 minutes later? Maybe. Depends on where your mindset is around them. Right? Because he's questioning it. He doesn't like the fact that I'm questioning him on it. Because he says, yeah.
To be honest, because before I think I would have said it wasn't urgent, but it was important, and now since I've been doing it.
It is.
I'm making it happen.
It is urgent. Right? It changes. So for some of us in the room, it's not.
I would think Oklahoma would also fit in that category. I mean, if you don't do it, it's something pressing you to do it, but it's important.
Here's the reality of the not urgent and important. It's anything that you know will have a positive impact in your life that you don't do. Right? It's anything. It can be anything that you know, I need to do this. I need to do this. I need to plan. I need to do my business plan. I need to do my budget. I need to make these phone calls. I need to follow up. I need to call that person. I need to go give somebody a hug. I need to write my mom a note. Whatever it is, that's the not urgent but extremely important. Why? Because your mindset has told you it's important. It's already, your programming is already lining you up with exactly what you need to do. The key is taking action. So why don't we take action?
We're too busy escaping.
Right. Because we're stuck over here in reactive mode. Right? We're following up with the phone calls that we had to do because somebody, we're showing properties, we're out there doing this, we're taking applications, we're meeting people. We're busy. We're busy loving the business that we have. Or maybe it's because we're working in one of these other illusion or escape. Hopefully you don't spend a whole lot of time in either one of those. But if you're successful, let's be honest, you're going to spend some time in the urgent and important, are you not? Yeah, I got to do that. That's a big part of the success that I have. There are deadlines and timelines and things associated with our businesses that we have to do. I get it. So how do you move into the other category, the proactive category? That's really the difference between the two. One of them is reactive and one of them is proactive. When you're talking about the top two quadrants, how do you move into the proactive category? What's that? Take action. Be intentional. I like that word a lot.
Define your big why so you know why you're doing it.
Oh, you got way too deep for this class. The big why is awesome. I'm telling you. This one, Start With Why. Good book. This goes deep. It gives you some clear understanding, not just personal why, but your business why. And how it interconnects with your community. Because if it doesn't matter. You can have good intentions if you don't have a why that connects with your community, it isn't going to help you. So here's the deal with the proactive quadrant. Stephen Covey says the key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule. That's typically what we do. We prioritize what's on our schedule, what I have to do. But to schedule your priorities. What are the priorities? It's the stuff that your mindset is telling you you need to do. So guess what? When's the best time to schedule it? When it pops into your mind. Now. Just write it down. Hopefully it makes it to a calendar and a time slot. Start with just at least writing it down. Because at some point, once you start to transpose that thought into at least the action of writing it down, it starts to have some reality in your life. So, urgent, important, occupies a lot of time. I get it. It's great. It's reactive. Not urgent, important, being proactive. Yes?
I'd like to add to this. I like when you put up the square. I last year at the beach read a book, and it was from Steve Jobs. Carmine Gallo wrote The Apple Effect. Great book to read. What it talks about is setting those priorities. So building business, family, your quiet time or personal time, and then also relationships. And at the end of the day, or when you're setting any priorities, if you know in concrete what your 4 most important quadrants are, and you can answer that, and whatever your activity answers to one of those, then you're doing what you need to be doing. If it doesn't, move on.
What was the book?
It's called The Apple Effect. And
The Apple Effect.
Gallo wrote it. It's a phenomenal book.
Yeah, Steve Jobs. Guess what? He was a master. I don't think I have Steve Jobs quote in here. Certainly somebody that mastered their mindset. So what's keeping you from being proactive? We just talked about the fact that, all right, we get it. I got this thought. What's keeping me from doing that? What's keeping that from happening in my life if it's not happening? What do you think? Mindset? Yeah, we're talking about mindset. What is it? Fear? So how many people think it's fear? Yeah, fear. I'm a little scared about this. Could be. Habit? I just got other habits. I do. I got other habits. I haven't gotten into the habit of being proactive. I'm in the habit of being reactive. That's pretty darn true, just for some of you. What is it though? It's a mindset. It's a programming decision. You don't have to have the habit. You choose to have the habit. Here's what it is. What's keeping you from being proactive is uncertainty. It's not necessarily fear as much. It can be. You can be pretty scared about doing something. I get it. Jumping off of a cliff. I've done that before. It was really cool. I was scared. And it was so thrilling. However, there's some uncertainty in our life for other things that we need to do, other things that we know to do, the proactive stuff. And when we're uncertain, what does it mean? What does uncertainty really mean to you? Fear? Lack of confidence. Lack of belief. I don't really believe that this is going to work anyway. Somewhere I have these doubts as to whether or not doing all this stuff's really going to make me successful. I'm not quite sure I'm cut out to do that anyhow. I'm a little uncertain. I know there's these things I could do. The reality is, if you're not doing it, there's uncertainty around whether or not you truly believe that it's going to have any impact. That's the only thing keeping you back. Now, it could be, too, that you just haven't found the motivation, right? To make a change, to do something different. And sometimes other people can have an impact on that, can they not? Right? My wife had an impact on a decision that I made in my life. quit drinking or I'm gone. Now, I knew when I met her in high school, this is the person I was going to be with forever. So when she said that, I had to realize very quickly, I need to make a change. That's not necessarily the easiest change to go through, folks. Right? There was somebody else who had an impact, who brought, yeah, I probably need to curb it a little. I need to slow down. I need to not drink as much. Whatever it is, for me, that was me. I'm being honest. Is that okay? So that was my uncertainty. I don't know if it'll really matter anyway. It did matter when somebody else stepped in, and all of a sudden, I was very certain I needed to make a change. And it happened. Period. Sometimes your back's up against the wall. Sometimes you're down and out. Sometimes you've had whatever it is happen to you, illnesses, whatever. And you find yourself in a situation where you have no other choice. You have to take action. Have you been there? Whew. You know what? I look back and I say, I am so thankful. That was awesome. Was I thinking that when I was going through it? Oh man, it sucked. I know now with certainty that it's a huge thing for me, right? I have certainty. So how do you get that certainty? We just talked about one way. Somebody else can have it for you, can say, hey, there's an ultimatum, or hey, you need to do this, or you know what, if you don't accomplish this goal, if you don't meet this quota, you're out of here. And you've got family and whoever relying on your income. If you're the sole breadwinner in a 100% commission job, and you've got kids in school and people to take care of, there comes a point at which you cannot do any less than this. And if you are 100% convinced that what you're going to do will have an impact in taking you where you want to go, you'll do it. So how do you get there? It starts with your beliefs, right? Here's the deal with decision making. Your beliefs lead to your thinking. What I believe in, my programming, leads to what I'm thinking about, right? What I'm thinking about leads to my feelings. It's how I feel about something. I'm thinking about making those calls, but I don't really think it's going to matter anyway, so who gives a flip? I'm thinking about writing a note, but I didn't do it, so it must not have been that important. I didn't feel like doing it right now. I had other things to do. I'm thinking about, but I'm feeling something a little bit different than that. So your thinking controls your feelings. Your feelings lead to your actions or inactions. I'm feeling something, I either do it or I don't as a result of that. My actions lead to my results. Uh-oh, starting to get real. Are you saying, Jeromy, that my beliefs lead to my results? Absolutely, 100%, there's the link. Your beliefs, what you believe to be true, leads to how you think. How you think leads to how you feel. How you feel leads to what you do or how you act. And what you do or how you act leads to the results you get. Right? You had a feeling about getting out of bed this morning. Some of you just got right out of bed. You're bright-eyed, bushy-tailed. You had some breakfast. You got here as quick as you could. You were first in the room. Others say, I'm not feeling this. Whatever. You made it, right? You got yourself here, regardless of sort of what happened along the way. So this process of beliefs, thinking, feeling, actions, results, you can sometimes force yourself to do something, can't you? I can force myself to do an affirmation or an appreciation. Why? Because I know. And if I force myself to do that, well, maybe I can get it done. Maybe I'll start to think differently. Here's the deal with decisions. What is this a picture of? Sweet. I was so glad you guys pulled that out. I was really open. Okay, it looks kind of like an iceberg. It also looks a little eerie. It is an iceberg. What do we know about icebergs? Most of the iceberg is where? Underneath the water. So where am I going with this? 90% of the decisions that you make are controlled by your sub or your unconscious mind. They are different. If you read about the two, you can link them together. I just sort of put them together in this category. It's your subconscious and your unconscious mind control 90% of everything that you do. I feel like I gotta go to the bathroom. What do? I go to the bathroom. I feel like I'm thirsty. I need a drink. I felt like grabbing that coffee, but I decided not to. Right? So I have these just unconscious thoughts that cause me to take action, to do something. 90% of what we do throughout the day is unconscious, subconscious. So we know that 10% is conscious decisions. So here's the deal. We got to figure out how to control the 10%. How do we figure out how to control the 10%? Making conscious decisions. This is from Tony Robbins. Anybody seen Tony Robbins live or Robbins Rive? I love it when I start to mix stuff up. It's so cool. So you've seen Tony Robbins live. And did he talk about this? He did. This is awesome. You can go watch this on video. I'm going to do my best to explain it to you right now. I encourage you to go watch it on video. There's a 38-minute video that you can watch where he talks to two gentlemen that were highly, highly successful in their own field. And he explained this to them to help them out. So here's the deal. It's a big circle. We have potential. Our thinking, our belief says, doing that has some potential or has no potential. Let me ask you a question. How much potential do you have? Do you think unlimited? How many people here think, you know what, I have unlimited potential. I can do whatever I decide to do. It's unlimited. I have unlimited potential. Some of you are being honest. You're like, I don't know. I haven't raised my hand. So if you have unlimited potential, do you have unlimited results? Maybe. Not right. Not right now. Why? Because you're not taking the massive action. Why aren't you taking the massive action? Because your belief says that that potential isn't unlimited. It's limited. That's what we're talking about. It's the potential in what you decide to do or don't do, and how much effort you give it. Because let's think about it. If something has tremendous potential to have an amazing return on your life, how much effort are you going to give it? A lot. I'm going to give it everything I got. If I have 100% certainty, remember the uncertainty that comes up why we don't do stuff? If I'm 100% certain that something is going to have a major impact on my life and the lives of the people around me, how convicted am I to do it? I'm going to do it if I believe it has the potential. Because you're not taking the action that leads you there. That's what we're talking about. And the reason you're not taking the action is because you don't really believe that the potential is there for you to have the result. Ouch. Does that hurt? It does. It hurts. So how do you shift that? Right here. Believe. And how do you change those? You start having some affirmations and some conversations with yourself to change what you believe. Start creating your own potential. Because here's the deal. Your unconscious mind is going to find validation for your beliefs. It's going to say, see, I told you so. That didn't work. See, I told you so. You're going to try something. What happens when you try? There is no try, there's only do. Try means I gave it a half-hearted attempt. Right? I hate it when my kids say try. You're not going to try. You're either going to make the shot or you're not going to make it. Which one is it? Make it. Then make it. Do it. If you miss, who cares? Pick it up. Do it again. I love, there was a little story that Tony Robbins talks about in this little clip. There was a test. Some basketball players. Took a bunch of really, really good basketball players and divided them into 3 groups. Has anybody heard this before? It's good, isn't it? So you put 3 groups of guys into groups. They all play basketball really well, and you're going to see who can shoot the best free throws. So you give somebody, here's what you're going to do in this group. You're going to sit at the free throw line and you're going to shoot shot after shot after shot after shot, and you are going to practice until you can't practice anymore. you are going to be devoted to being the best. You will sit there and you will practice that shot over and over and over again. That's what they did. They sat there and they took shots over and over and over. Then they had another group and they said, you guys are doing nothing. Just go do whatever you want to do. Sit around, doesn't matter. They didn't practice, they didn't do anything, they just sat around. Then there was another group. Said, here's what I want you to do. I want you to stand at the free throw line without a ball. And I want you to over and over and over again envision making that shot. You stand there and you shoot it, it goes in. 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 Over and over and over. You shoot it, it goes in. You guys know where this is going, right? Who do we know had the worst free throw percentage? The people who showed up but didn't do anything. They didn't practice, they didn't envision, they just showed up and had a good time. Drank some coffee, had some chicken nuggets, whatever it was, right? The reality is we know. You guys know how that ends. Why? Because in your mind, you create perfection. You create it. You make it happen. You make it happen in your life. They knew how to shoot the shot. They didn't have to practice it. What they had to practice was making it. They had to practice making it. And the best way to do that is practice it in your mind. Making it. Any moment, the decision that you make can change the course of your life forever. I want to change the course of your life. Is that cool? Can I do that right now, today, in the next 25 minutes? Can I change the course of your life? How many people think that you've gotten a little bit out of what we've already talked about? Cool. Me too. By the way, teaching is so, you gotta do that. There is nothing more learning, nothing more you can do to learn more than to teach. I love it. It's so good. So today I'm going to give you the funnel that's connected to the bullseye. What's the bullseye? It's the most valuable part of our business. I am going to give you the funnel that's attached to it so that when you take that shot, it's going to hit the bullseye. How does that sound? That sounds pretty awesome. Does it sound like the magic pill? Sort of does. Sort of does. It wasn't the intention. So here's you go. Shot number one. Do one thing every day to condition your mind that gets you into the state to follow through on a conscious decision. We know that we have to make more conscious decisions and quit letting our subconscious and our unconscious take us right into the quadrant of busyness. We have to do one thing every day that's going to condition our mind to get us into the state, the mindset, to make more conscious decisions. What is that? Give me some examples of what you could do.
Affirmations, appreciation, writing your blessing book.
Affirmations and appreciations and writing in your blessing book. How many people think that's probably a pretty good thing? If I did that every single day, I think my mindset would allow me to take one action that I may not have otherwise taken. What do you think? Right? And if you're certain that that one action can give you a result that you want or need, are you going to do it? Yes. Or try to go one day without complaining. I get to slap you if you complain. I won't complain about it. No, I'll slap him back. I'll slap him again. That'd be fun. What else? What one thing could you do? How many people got Michael Mayer's email this morning? Was that cool? Did it go right into what I'm getting ready to talk about? It did. I'm going to read it to you. Sorry. I didn't plan this either. However, it's coming up because it's totally relevant. It's going to give you some ideas. So Michael Mayer sends out words of wisdom to his ambassadors. I encourage you to find a way onto the list. Let me know. We'll get you there. Aristotle said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act, but a habit. We talked about habits earlier, didn't we? Excellence is not an act, but a habit. So here's the deal. What one habit, what one thing, if practiced daily, could make the most difference in your life? What one thing, if practiced daily, can make the most difference in your life? What one habit, once developed, would change your life, help you get the most of your life, make you the happiest? What one habit for you? He asked people closest to him. He sent this out. And he got a lot of replies back. And here's the categories that they came into. Number one, mindset shift. Mindset shift was the number one thing. If I can shift my mindset, it'll have the biggest impact in my life. That's why we're here. That's why we started Gen 2014 with mindset, not with the networking stack or all the other stuff that we're going to teach you later that's going to bring amazing results into your life. We start with mindset because it's the key. Here's one of the mindset shifts. Forgiveness. Whoa, who do you have in your life that you need to forgive? What grudge are you holding on to? Who hurt you in the past that you need to let it go? One of them said, I come to learn that the one thing I had to do was come from a place of forgiveness, of me first, and then every undesired situation that arises. If I live with this true intention, I have endless gifts of abundance every day because I am truly thankful. I am 48 years old, and I recently discovered this and find it to be true. 47 years of struggles and failures in less than 1 year of new youthful journeys and successes. As a mentor in my life once said, look at everything with a beginner's mind, and you will find your truth, joy, and success. You can never go back and create a brand new beginning. But you can begin today and create a brand new ending. Today is the day. That's what that's saying. Love is an act of endless forgiveness, a tender look which becomes a habit. Here's another part of mindset shift: spirituality, prayer, Bible work, etc. First believe, then share. There's a whole list of things here. Affirmations was one of them in mindset shift. Positive self-talk. I am statements. I am a positive impact in the lives of everyone I meet. And I am a significant positive impact in the lives of those closest to me. That's me. That's who I am. Regardless of whether you think so or not. That's who I am. Zig Ziglar taught me to practice positive affirmations each morning. It's the best way to start my day. Morning affirmations, says another. Upgrading my goal to always bring value and clarity to others, says another. Appreciations. Gratitude, says someone. Gratitudes, says someone else. Gratitude upon waking. 5 things I am grateful for, said someone else. Coming from contribution, said another one. Gratitude. Be grateful for something. Doesn't matter what. Every day, said someone else. Sending heartfelt messages of gratitude to others with a personalized card. Making it a habit to tell people thank you, to express your appreciation sincerely and without expectation of anything in return. Truly appreciate those around you, and you'll soon find many others around you. Truly appreciate life, and you'll find that you have more of it. What you appreciate appreciates. Quiet time and meditation. There's something else that somebody else talked about with the mindset shift. Going to a peaceful mindset by meditating and getting rid of the mind chatter for a while. How many of you need to get rid of the mind chatter for a while? Meditation helps me quiet my mind, take everything in stride, and sleep better. All of which help me be more effective at work and happier. Health. That was mindset shift was number 1. Lots of talk about mindset shift. Number 2 was health. How many people think if I was a little healthier, that's a big deal. I know my life would have a positive, it would be a significant impact on my life if I was a little healthier. Eating less calories than I burn. Exercising every day, said someone else. Exercise. Physical activity, said someone else. Work out every day. Work out every morning. Exercise. These are things that are coming back over and over and over again. What's the one thing every day that conditioned your mind? Exercise. Professional and business. The business focused people. Lead generate 2 hours every day. Keep a list of my top 10 most likely to make a move clients. Consistent lead generation. How about time management? You better manage your time, which is sort of an illusion. However, if you better manage your time, it can get you in the right mindset, right? Control of my schedule, properly time blocking and sticking to it. What did Stephen Covey say? Sharpen the saw. What did he say in that little note? It's not about.
It's not prioritize where in your schedule.
It's not. It's scheduling your priorities. That's what time management is. Scheduling your priorities. So, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Want to join me in something? What are you going to do, Kim? Exercise. Oh, cool. You lead me right to it. She didn't even know this. Here you go. You want to do something different? You want to get in the right mindset to make a change in your life? I challenge you to this. Set your alarm for 30 minutes earlier than when you normally get up. That's it. Set it for 30 minutes earlier than when you normally get up. How many people have an alarm that wakes you up in the morning? How many people just get up whenever I need to get up? I do that some days. My kids do it a lot on the weekends and in the summers. The reality is, though, most of us have a schedule and we have a routine. What's going to happen to you if you move that routine up by 30 minutes? Is it going to kill you? It's not. No, it's not. Here's the deal. Set your alarm. This is the stuff, this is the part where you go, I got to make myself, right? I make a conscious decision to do something because I want a different result. Set your alarm 30 minutes early. When it goes off, pull the covers off your body. Get out of bed and go read or go exercise or go write your affirmations or your appreciations, write your affirmations. Whatever it is that you just said, that's what I'm going to do. My one thing is this. Make time for it. Figure out when it goes in your calendar. You just said you were going to do something that could change the course of your life. You got to put it into your calendar. Here's an opportunity to get up 30 minutes earlier and do it. I'm getting up 30 minutes earlier and I'm going downstairs and I ride the bike. I love to ride and I haven't been able to do it as much outdoors. So I thought, hey, here's what I need to do. I need to go ride the bike. What else would I get to do when I'm riding the bike? I could read. I could write my affirmation or write down my appreciation, say my affirmations. So it's kind of like I'm getting all kinds of stuff done. Shot number 2. Get to a state of certainty at least once a day. Whoa, this is cool. We're going to go deep for just a couple minutes. Get to a point of certainty, a state of certainty at least once a day. How do you do that? What is your goal for 2014? I want you to write it down. What's your number one objective, your number one goal that you want to accomplish in 2000, business objective? I guess it could be something else. If something else is more important to you right now, write down whatever it is. Whatever comes to mind is your number one thing. This is my goal. How many people knew what it was right away? How many people go, yeah, and then you back dial it a little bit? Be like, I think he's going to make me commit to something. Not sure I want to do this. He doesn't know where I live, does he? All right, so what's that goal? Now I want you to do something else. First of all, I want you to stand up for 1 minute. Stand up. Relax. Just breathe and relax. Let your hands kind of just relax for a second. You wrote down your goal, right? You can probably look down and see it, right? You can look down and see it on the table, sitting there as you're just sort of standing up and relaxing. Now what I want you to do is just take a breath and sit down and relax. Just sit down and relax. Okay? I want you to look at the goal real quick. Just glance at it and then close your eyes. Glance at the goal and close your eyes. Keep them closed. I want you just to think about that goal for a minute. And I want you to think that this isn't February the 19th, 2014. It's February 2015. Okay? And you're looking back, and that goal was achieved. You made it happen. You did something different. It happened in your life. You met that goal. I want you to think about the people that are with you celebrating that? Who's sitting there next to you? Who's enjoying that with you? Where are you? Are you in a nice place? A restaurant? Are you celebrating? What's going on? What's happening as a result of that? What do you have in your life now? You achieved that goal. What has that provided for you? How does it make the people around you feel? When they look at you, what do they see? How does that make you feel? I want you just to open your eyes. I want you to remember that vision. Because that is the reality. That is the certainty that you know. That is the certainty that you know. You just saw it. It is true. Your mind cannot tell the difference. You just created it. That is the certainty. And that's where I want you to go. I want you to stop. How long did that take? How long did it take? A minute, 2 minutes. Just stop. Once a day, every day, find a peaceful place, sit down, and I want you to go through that exercise. You know what? Broaden it a little bit when you do it. Every day I want you to think about that certainty happening. Forget about everything else. Just think about that certainty. You can do this at the end of your new morning ritual, since you're going to get up 30 minutes earlier. All right, you've got some extra time. Stop and close your eyes. I already just went through this. I just didn't want you to see it before we actually did it, because it would sort of freak you out. Here's the other thing that I want you to do. Stand back up. All right, so you remember that feeling you just had? I want you to anchor it. You got to do something. You got to have some action associated with it. Now for me, I've got a couple different anchors. I realize that one of them is yelling, and that one probably wouldn't be real good right now. But there are some different anchors that you can do. And an anchor, what is an anchor?
Something you do.
It's just something that holds you, right? And what we want to do is we want to hold on to that memory. We want to hold on to that success, that certainty. That's what we're doing. We're creating an anchor that allows us to hold on to that. And the other cool thing about an anchor is that when you do it, you can go there on a moment. I can clap, and I know what my anchor is. That's my anchor. What's your anchor? This one. 1, 2, 3. Very cool. You guys are in unison. You got it. Thank you for being a part of my anchor. That was really cool. What is yours? So when you find it, if it's a clap, if it's a fist pump, it's a yes. I mean, whatever it is, something that you do, you can sit back down. You have to have an anchor. So when you do that thought, when you're getting to that point of certainty, make sure that you have an anchor. I left my little clicker over here. Can you do that? Would that be that hard? You know what else? I'm driving in my car, on my way to an appointment, and you know what I do right before I get out? Clap. Why? Because that's my point of certainty. Right before I walk in, rub my hands. Right before an appointment, right before a meeting. Why? Because that's my point of certainty. I know it's going to happen. You can do it without having to go through the exercise of closing your mind and envisioning it. Well, where'd you go? Hello, Jeremy. We're here talking about listing my house. Seriously? I can just go, you know what? I am excited about selling your house. And I know that when we work together, I'm going to make you feel comfortable and confident along the way. And I know that's what you're looking for. You're looking for somebody to help you get there. That's me. You do that? Come on, clicker. Okay. We're almost done. Shot number 3. Do it now. Whoa. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. Do it now. How many people have heard this before? Yes. Here's the deal. This is what it sounds like. You say it out loud 20 times. Do it now, 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 do it now. I do that 3 times a day. Woo! What do I feel like doing? Something. Right? gonna, whatever it is, I'm gonna do it now. Once you have the mindset of do it now, whoa, that stuff that comes to your mind, you should write a note to your mom. What? Do it now. It just pops in your mind. You can't help it. Do it now. Make that phone call. When my client services manager says, "Have you talked to them?" I do it now. I pick up the phone and I do it, don't I, Michael? I pick up the phone and I do it. I do it now. It becomes a habit. Do it now. Shot number 4, start giving more. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, right? Whoa, we are out there telling everybody how good we are, aren't we? Yes. Come on. Everybody's out there doing it. Not us. We're go-givers. We're generosity generation. There's a lot of people out there talking about how good they are. People don't know how much, or people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So here's the law of reciprocity. It's about giving. Balance in relationships. When a gift is given, balance is thrown off. Period. And does that mean that they owe you something? No. It means the world does, and you're going to get it. I promise you. When you give, you receive if you're open to it. And it doesn't necessarily come directly from that person that you gave to. Get over that. Forget about it. You're not giving for the expectation of getting something back or in return from that person. You can have those one-on-one meetings. Your intention isn't to make sure that they give you referrals, it's to give them referrals. Who cares what they do? You know that when you're doing the giving, it will come back to you. So here are some things you can give. You can give your thought. I can just, you know what, I can stop and I can think, because I promise you, that makes it there. How many times have you picked up the phone to call somebody and they go, you know what, I was just thinking about you. Whoa. Right? We talked about that last week. Thought. Give them some just, take a breath and just think about them. Talk. You can talk positive about people. Man. Whatever. Just say something positive. Talk positive about people. You can give your talents. You're good at something. Go share it. You're handy. Go somewhere and help somebody build something that needs some help. Give your talents. You're good with numbers. Help somebody set up a budget. Team. It's not just you, right? Gary talked about the fact we've got all kinds of people around us that we can refer. There's lots of people that we can give the services. We can direct the services. Lots of gifts that way. These are gifts. These are opportunities to give. You can give your treasure. I've got some money, and you know what? It'll help you. And I give money, and I tithe every single month. And I give money to charity. Why? Because they know what to do with it. And I do that because they're going to manage it and get something done. I give my treasure. I can give my time. I can just sit down and have a conversation with somebody because they're sitting there by themselves. I can just give my time. There's 86,400 seconds in a day. If you had $86,400 in your pocket and you had to get rid of it by the end of the day, who would you give it to? Who would you give it to? Couldn't buy anything with it. You had to give it. Who would you give it to? Your time is way more valuable than money. Teaching. Lifelong learners have a duty to be lifelong teachers. Join the Professional Development Committee. I promise you will end up here teaching something. It's pretty cool. Or get involved with your office or whatever. Find something that you're passionate about that you can teach a little bit. It doesn't have to be an hour and a half. It can be 10 minutes. So give. Those are some ideas, some things that you can give. Shot number 5, gratitude. Here's the best thing to give. Oh, just gratitude and appreciation. We talked about it. It's not only the greatest virtue, but it is the parent of all other virtues. You have to go through life being grateful. If you want massive results, have massive gratitude. I promise you, they are linked. Period. Be grateful. Great gratitude can transform common days into thanksgiving. Turn a routine job into joy and change ordinary opportunities into blessings. It's just about the gratitude. So what are you grateful for? Write down one thing you're grateful for. Just one thing. A little circle of stuff all around you. Stuff everywhere. I'm grateful for the fact that I'm not standing in the middle of the highway right now. I'm here getting a chance to talk to you. I'm grateful for the fact that it's a little warmer outside, although it also means it's a little warmer in here. Just me? Or are you a little warm too? Just me? What are you grateful for? Here's the deal. Feeling gratitude and not expressing it is like wrapping a present and not giving it. Do you have any of those at home? Presents that I wrapped up and I never gave them. That sucks. Feeling gratitude and not expressing it is just like going out and buying that gift, wrapping it, and never. You have to share your appreciations. You have to pick up the phone and make the call. You have to write the note. Shot number 6. If people like you, they listen to you. If they trust you, they'll do business with you. So what is trust, right? We know we have to have trust in our business. Unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot of time to go into all of this because I promised we would end at 10:30. There's other things coming in. Trust is made up of character and competency. And I love speaking about trust. We will, in the next session, go deeper into this because this is a key component with us leading out of mindset and into activity and action in our business. Trust is made up of character and competency. The key to unlocking the trust puzzle is how we communicate with people. Most people communicate like this. Confusing acronyms, right? Industry lingo, techno gibberish. We're talking about real estate in code. They don't get it. It just looks like this. It's a whole bunch of words, one or two they understand. They end up kind of looking at us like this. What? If you're sitting in a listing presentation and your client looks like this, you need to get a little bit more clear in your message. Seek first to understand and then to be understood, said Stephen Covey. That's what we're talking about, asking more questions. Shot number 7 is ask questions. Seek first to understand. Quit trying to tell them what you can do. Understand their situation. We're going to go deeper into that at another time. What are your customers and clients looking for? You need to understand that. We're going to talk about some books that you can go to really determine that. You can have everything you want in life if you just help enough people get what they want. You've seen some masters up here telling you some secrets, folks. It's not me. I'm just delivering it. I'm just blessed with an opportunity to deliver the message to you so that you can get everything you want by helping enough people get what they want. That's what it's about. You just have to understand what they want. How do you do that? You ask more questions. Your core beliefs have to be in alignment with with their goals. You've got to understand what their goals are. I appreciate the fact that you're taking some pictures, and I got to tell you, if you want this, just give me a card, and I will email you this entire presentation. You can have it. This isn't about me keeping on to something. This is about giving it to you. This is the generosity generation. You can have it. Here's what I decided. Decisions. I help people make decisions. My son and I were talking. Dad, what do you do? I said, I help people make decisions. He said, what do you mean? I thought you sold houses. Well, that's just the result. I help people make decisions. In fact, if I think about it, I take it a little bit deeper, something that resonates with the community. I help people make comfortable and confident decisions. Why? Because people want to feel comfortable and confident in their decisions. Why do they not decide? Because they're uncertain, right? We just talked about that. So if I can create some certainty through my communication with them, through seeking first to understand and providing a place that makes them feel comfortable and confident, then I can win their business. I help people feel comfortable and confident when making decisions about real estate. That is me. I help people feel comfortable and confident when making decisions about real estate. And hint, that's an affirmation. How you play in here is how you go play out there, right? Your mindset. I want you to keep these things just sort of in the back of your mind. There are addictions that will kill you, the opinions of other people. Other people are going to have some opinions about what you're going to do, what you're not going to do. It's up to you whether you share it. It's up to you whether you listen. Don't care so much about them. These are your dreams, not theirs. The past, it's never coming back. Get over it. Drama. Oops. Drama, right? It's a complete time sucker. Come on. Seriously? Drama? Jeez. Get out of it. All it does is it creates havoc in your life, and it really just worsens their situation when you just let them go on and on and on about this. Worry. What you focus on expands. If you're constantly worried about something, that's what's going to happen in your life. Let go of it. These are the things to watch out for. I just gave you the arrows, right? I want you to remember, mindset is an exercise. Mindset is an exercise. It's not a destination. You're not going to get there. Mindset is an exercise. It's something you do every day. It's not something you have. It's not somewhere you go. It's not a place. It's an exercise. You're working it constantly. That's what mindset is. You do it now. You do it now. You do it now. You do it now. So what are the action items? In case you didn't write these down earlier, you're going to do one thing every day that gets you excited, that you know is going to help you get to success. Do your one thing. Get to a state of certainty. How do we do that? Once you figure it out, that's all you got to do. You know it. It's there. Stop. Use the envision exercise first. Do it now 20 times, 3 times a day for 21 days. Start giving more. I gave you 7 things that you can give. What is your referral goal? You posted it this morning. I can't wait to go to Facebook and see if I've got some stuff. Write thank you notes and mail them. Right? It's okay just to write it too. It's not a bad thing. Putting it in the mail makes it even better. Identify your core values and beliefs. We didn't go into that much. Do it now. So, thank you for being here today. I want you all to have an awesome 2014. I hope you come back and enjoy us. Go give them!